It is very difficult to place the character of Gertrude in minor characters of the play, and even it is more difficult to consider her as the major character. This is my opinion. Not necessarily it has to be your opinion or you have to admit it. But I have got some reasons to say it. First of all, Gertrude, though the queen of the play, has a very limited role. She just like a shadow to the King Claudius and a sort of a foil to Hamlet. Gertrude has no soliloquies in the play, so that we can't understand her inner voice, nor she appears frequently in the play. She is driven by the emotions rather than the reflections. However, we can find her affectionate, we can find her impulsive, and sometimes very strong willed as well. Perhaps she speaks in Hamlet, I think 69 times. In Act 1, Scene 2, her presence is merely to remain the shadow of the king and bring out Hamlet from his father's loss. She urges Hamlet to stay at home rather than going back to the Wittenberg University where he was learning. Later on, when Hamlet when Hamlet speaks to her in Act number 3 and scene number 4, she reminds Hamlet that he has offended the king by his drama. Hamlet retorts back to her saying that she has offended his real father and her husband long, long back. Perhaps driven by Oedipus complex, Hamlet gives graphic details of her behavior with Claudius and asks her to remain away from him. From the very beginning as well, Hamlet's Hamlet's mother Gertrude is shown very clueless and she is almost a blind character. She hardly understands things happening around her. She is the only one of the two female characters in the play. Other is Ophelia. Gertrude is a woman with a tendency to use men and fulfill her instinct. If we consider she uses Claudius to fulfill her own desire, a question, a question comes in my mind that earlier also she was the queen of senior Hamlet. What extra benefit she has got by marrying Claudius? There is ample chance to consider that she is sensual lady in Hamlet because she immediately gets married to Claudius after her husband's death, or we can say a murder. I feel if we consider these two women, that is Ophelia and Gertrude, I think they bring in the memories of Clara Dawes and Miriam in that very famous novel, Sons and Lovers. She can be considered as the flat character because hardly there is any dynamic change that takes place in her character. She is unlike Lady Macbeth, who influences the play to a great extent. It was perhaps believed that all women are naturally flawed. Before the reign of Charles II, women actresses were not allowed on the stage. It was only in the reign of Charles II women were allowed on the stage, be it Ophelia or Gertrude. These names, which are derived from the Greek and German, speak about their weaknesses. It is very easy to condemn the lady as a selfish and evil. But I think considering her weak and inconsistent is what she can be rightly called. Okay, now can we talk on Horatio? Yes, of course, we can talk on Horatio. Out of three friends Hamlet has, one is Rosencrantz, second one is Guildenstern, and the third one is Horatio. Horatio is the most trusted, honest, and loyal friend of Hamlet. He is a scholar given to rational thinking. He readily does not believe in the supernatural elements. That is why he wants uh, to not only see the ghost with his own eyes, but also tries to speak to that ghost. He only tells Hamlet about the ghost and advises Hamlet not to follow him. It shows he cares for Hamlet and his life. Being highly sensitive, Hamlet could go even mad with his interaction with the ghost. He is the witness of death of Hamlet, Claudius, and even Gertrude. He certainly has not heroic characteristics in him because he never he never allows his ambitions govern his intellect. He does not show any ill intent throughout the play. He is not ambitious, though he knows Hamlet's nature. Responsibility of telling the story of Hamlet to Fortinbras is given to Horatio, which he does very promptly. He is not that way, a kind of a round character, we can say, not a very dynamic personality. He is static throughout the play. Initially, he motivated Hamlet for the revenge to be taken, but when he understands that Hamlet has become more mad and more erratic, sensitive regarding the happenings, his focus is shifted for Hamlet's well-being. Horatio and Hamlet share a mutual love and respect for one another. Hamlet and Horatio are opposite to each other. Hamlet is impulsive, hot-headed, whereas Horatio is calm, rational, and a sort of a measured person, measured man. Horatio maintains the secrecy of a ghost as promised to Hamlet. Horatio is present in most of the important scenes of the play. During the play within the play, or we can say the mousetrap scene, at the time when Yorick's skull scene is being played, he is present. He is the only savior in the play. Now, let us move on to the character of Polonius. Polonius is the character in the play Hamlet by William Shakespeare. That is the first sentence. He is the chief counselor of the king Claudius and father of Letus and Ophelia. However, if we try to understand while writing Hamlet, Shakespeare's main intention or the purpose was not to write a play in the tradition of a revenge play, but he wanted to delve deep into the psyche of the human mind. He wanted to know about how human beings' minds work. What are its workings? Remember well, my dear friends, Sigmund Freud was not born by that time. His all psychoanalytical studies were not founded by that time when Shakespeare was writing. Shakespeare wrote before all this, and now we can analyze his characters from that point of view. Most of the critics consider Polonius as the replacement of a fool in Shakespeare's plays. However, this is not a complete truth. At least I don't feel so. Shakespeare has portrayed Polonius' character in the most simplistic way. There is hardly a complexity in his character. He is direct. He obeys whatever the king tells him. Even before him, his own daughter's king's word is a priority. So he inquires about Hamlet with his daughter because he knows that the authentic information he can or he could get about Hamlet is only from his daughter. You can note Polonius is the first one to be killed, who is killed in the play, though Hamlet kills him by chance, thinking that he may be the king Claudius who is spying on him. Polonius can be always remembered for one particular thing: his wise words through which he guides his son Latus, his counsel what to do and what not to do, and how to be practical. It's a full of practical and full of a worldly knowledge. His relationship with Hamlet is very complex. Hamlet, in the beginning, speaks with him in the most respectful manner. As the play progresses, we see Hamlet is more critical of him and gives vague answers, or asking on his question what to do. What do you read, my lord? Hamlet's answer is words, words, and words. Polonius did not like Ophelia's relationship with Hamlet, and from time to time he guides not to be very close to Hamlet because he thinks, as a good father, that Hamlet wants to use her only body and not to marry her. He seems is a caring father, but also uses his own daughter as the spying tool of a king. Surprising. Well, friends, we have said something about the major characters in the play. Something is a word I just used like that as a joke. I have really researched for this video a lot. I have added something of my own to the characters as well. I hope they can be of some use to you writing in your exam. But my purpose is not only you should take Shakespeare only for the exam. Let me give you one example that I have encountered. One girl came to me and asked, "Sir, for how many marks we have a Shakespeare?" I said, "Zero." She was happy and said, then why are we studying Shakespeare or his plays? Is he really deleted because of the COVID? She was very bold, wanted to do the minimum possible for the examination. Then onwards, I used to call her as the exam girl. I baptized her as the exam girl. I expect you would not take the content of these videos only for the exam. Learn Shakespeare as as a comment on the life. Hope you love this. I love you too. God bless you and keep watching. Subscribe and increase subscription. उसका तो कोई पैसा नहीं होता है ना यार. Thank you very much.